Those 20 didn't take you long enough, Ben Zion. Give me 20 more. Ben shot through another 20 as the other recruits were screamed at and assigned their own push-ups for infractions as varied as being too tall, too skinny, too fat, speaking too softly, forgetting to add "sir" to the end of every sentence, and an endless list of other things none of them could have anticipated. "What kind of name is Ben Zion, Berman?" "First name, sir." 20 more, son, for knowing that's not what I was asking. You're going to be the first to visit our Jewish chaplain, ain't you?" Ben didn't know how to respond, and his third set of 20 was not so easy. "I can't hear you, Berman." "Sir, yes, sir." The recruits were to grab their bags and run, following a set of painted yellow footsteps to a processing center where they stripped and stood next to each other, a thermometer popped in each mouth. They'd had one chance to throw away anything they'd brought that even looked like a weapon. One guy pleaded to keep a small jackknife he said was an heirloom from his grandfather. "Your choice, pissant," a drill sergeant screamed in his ear. "You have it on your person past this point. You will be arrested." Shoulders sagging, the recruit dropped it into the trash. One coughed and complained of asthma, which made him a target for abuse. Those not in Ben's shape, which meant most, stood awkwardly, obviously embarrassed about their bodies. Ben distracted himself by looking forward to a little sleep. Some of the guys looked panicky, and a heavy-set kid appeared to fight tears. He was berated unmercifully and asked by several if he planned to start bawling, which resulted in just that. But to his credit, when they asked if he was going to run home to his mama, he shook his head and did whatever was asked. After cursory physical exams and multiple shots to each arm and both backsides, followed immediately by more push-ups, one barber shaved all 13 heads in less than 2 minutes. "Come in a hippie, go out a skinhead," he said over and over. The guys were issued boots, socks, underwear, undershirts, trousers, shirts, and caps. The 3 slowest to dress were made to drop for more push-ups, then sent outside to run. Ben had read enough to know that this was all about stripping every would-be Marine of his individuality, his identity, and making him part of a unit. He hadn't expected it to make any more sense than that, assuming that, if anything, the institutionalism of the military might even be less logical than that of the Ivy League and its prep schools and universities. He wasn't escaping bureaucratized lunacy. He was choosing the opposite of what his parents wished for him. So far, so good. With their personal belongings locked away for safekeeping, "You won't be needing them here." The recruits were headed outside again for calisthenics. One fainted, was doused with water, and razzed unmercifully. One of the drill instructors crowed, "I don't see one here likely to survive," and made the entire group run for not responding, "Sir, yes, sir." Finally sent to their bunks in a Quonset hut, Ben could not believe how long it had taken to process and humiliate them. It was already well past 2 in the morning, and sunrise this far south had to be at around 6. If they were to be awakened before dawn, he was going to have to sleep fast. Fat chance. The welcoming committee found reasons to bellow instructions and reminders to the recruits, even after they were in bed, hauling some out for more physical activity if they had violated rules they could not yet know. Ones who hid their faces in their pillows and even appeared to be crying were rousted out for more attention. Ben was forced outside to run for going to bed without his boots on, but when he returned, he was assigned 2 more sets of 20 push-ups because he went back to bed with them on. Illogic was all part of the milieu, and he was determined not to crack under it. But when he was finally in his bunk for good, fully dressed so he could hit the ground running at reveille, it was 4 in the morning. He was in better shape mentally and physically than the rest of these guys and would survive this. Many had. But he had not expected his bunk and the harassment to transport him right back to his first trip away from home, at age 9, to a boarding school in Massachusetts. That was going to be fun. No parents, beautiful campus, lots of guys to make friends with. Perfect for an only child, right? He'd been warmly welcomed, shown around the place, introduced to staff and teachers. He'd been helped storing his clothes and supplies, setting up his schedule, directed to the dining hall, and enjoyed the first dinner.